you'll be dead to me.
What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again. And I just want to say Happy Easter, really. Happy Easter, everyone. This video, a little bit impromptu, really. It's just following some news articles, really, that I've seen today. Linking Cenk Tosun and Moise Kean away from the club. So, first one I want to mention is James Rodriguez again, or James Rodriguez, as he's affectionately known. Apparently it's going to cost £35 million, and the rumours are, according to Area Napoli, now whether you believe it or not, I don't know how much I believe it, Everton have been in advanced negotiations regarding James Rodriguez. Carlo Ancelotti is apparently really keen on him, and I think you can see how he could be pivotal in the centre of the park or as a number 10 for Everton. And he's a good player. There's absolutely no doubt about it. He's got some real quality. We saw it. You know, a lot of people say he's sort of like a one-year wonder because of his fantastic performances in the World Cup a few years ago. But he's better than that. He is better than that. There's no doubt about it. And he's got real quality at his feet. You don't play for teams like Bayern Munich and Real Madrid if you're not a good player. Irrespective of the level you're at or whatever, you don't get to that level without merit. So he would be a phenomenal addition to the Everton side in an area that we're weak. You know, we've talked about this many times, but we don't really have a number 10. Gylfi Sigurdsson, it offers very little. And actually, even last season, apart from popping up with a screamer, he offered very little. So, you know, he would probably come in as a like-for-like replacement. You've got Gbamin and Gomez in the centre of the park. And it's quite funny, actually, because I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, and he said to me, can you tell me your favourite Everton 11 of your lifetime? So I sat there and I went, well, it's difficult because I don't really remember much before, say, 2000. And then Everton weren't great. They weren't. So I sat there and I thought, right, well, I'll go Nigel Martin in goal, Leighton Baines at left back. I'll go Jagielka and either Distan or Holgate. I really do rate Holgate, or Stones, any of them three in the centre. I won't put Lescott in because I just think he was a massive knob the way he left. Coleman at right back. Then I'll go Barry, Arteta, Cahill. Then on the left, I've got Richarlison. On the right, I've got, I don't know, Morales, Delafeu, someone of real pace and quality. And up front, I've got Lukaku. And then my bench, Tim Howard. Then one of the other centre-backs that I've just mentioned. Then there's some really good players you can throw in that team. You know, I remember Gravison, Lee Carsley, Leon Osman. You know, some really good players. So it's been a massive difference going from sort of, you know, an Everton team that I'll go, yeah, do you know what, we can be top four, to looking at an Everton team and thinking, it's not really top four quality. You know, I remember that team in 2007, 2008, and I was really impressed with that side. And Yakubu was on fire. And I really liked that Everton side. And then it was similar with Martinez in I think it was 15-16 or 14-15. We had a great side again. And that's where I want to get to under Carlo Ancelotti. And James Rodriguez, although I've gone round the point a little bit, he definitely has quality. And that's what we need. John Joe Kenny's mentioned about keeping himself busy. He's mentioned a few things about staying at Schalke, and we've discussed this. Look, if John Joe Kenny wants to stay at Schalke, that's absolutely fine. Like, I have no problem with it, because I don't think he's strong enough for the Premier League. But he only stays at Schalke if we've definitely got a right back coming in, and a quality one. You know, Coleman, fine. Give him another year, 2 years on a contract, whatever. You know, I know he's got a bit of time anyway. Don't sign Sidibe. But if getting rid of Kenny means we sign Sidibe, I don't want that. See what I mean? I just don't want that. So I'm not interested in that. Yeah. The one that's really impressed me as well, and it was a rumour that was mentioned yesterday, and it's a player that I really want, is Jack Grealish. Now, a lot of people have criticised him because he's came out and he said about, he come out and he said about staying self-isolated, and then a day later he's drank, he's been out at a party or whatever. Look, I'm not overly arsed about stuff like that, and I'm really not, because we all make mistakes. This is a lad, right, that on a football pitch gives 110%, doesn't get distracted by what's going on around him, and literally puts his body on the line. And the best way of epitomising that is at Birmingham City against Aston Villa last season. Jack Grealish takes a punch in the face from a Birmingham City fan, stays on the pitch, stays composed, doesn't lamp him back, gets up, scores the winner. He's got the right mentality for me, and I just do not care about some of the issues that have happened outside, as long as he's not going out, getting absolutely bladdered, getting in the car, running people over, or messing about in that sense. We all make silly mistakes. You know, we all possibly haven't been able to self-isolate as well as we wanted. You know, you maybe been too close to someone when you've walked in a supermarket. You haven't stuck to the not driving unless it's just completely essential. But on a football pitch, there's no getting around. Jack Grealish is the ultimate professional. He really is. He has the right qualities. And for me, if it was a case of James Rodriguez or Jack Grealish, I sign Jack Grealish. I sign Jack Grealish all day. Rodriguez is a bigger established name. But in terms of, you know, injury record, being young, having more years, probably a better sell-on value, Jack Grealish is the better choice. Everton have also been linked with Gerard Gonzalez, young lad from Barcelona. Apparently, Everton are interested in him. He's apparently highly rated, so I don't quite understand at 16 years old why he'd be leaving Barcelona to come to Everton. But then we did very similar with Gerard Deulofeu, although he was slightly older. Anyone who's come through Messiah at Barcelona is going to have some form of pedigree. And for that, yeah, fine. I'm happy to take anyone like that. He's meant to be a good player, young defender, fairly aggressive, quite quick, I believe, good with the ball at his feet. And it is kind of what we need. He wouldn't go straight into the first team. He'd go into the under-23s, no doubt about it. But I'm absolutely cool with that. I'm absolutely fine with signing top pedigree young players from across the world. No worries. Another interesting one, and I want to go back to this. The Liverpool Echo. And the reason I'm going to go through the Liverpool Echo is because they published an article, I think it was 2 or 3 nights ago, about Everton having a moral issue. They brought the article up simply because Liverpool had retracted what they had said about furloughing staff. I'm not going to go into that too much because I've already made my points abundantly clear. But what I would say is the Echo are getting worse and worse and worse just in general journalism. I think the best people they had have gone to the Athletic. And I think the Athletic are doing a fairly decent job. I can't criticise them as much as I can criticise the Echo. But I just think they need to get off Everton's back. It's disappointing that a paper that is based in the same city as Everton, a paper that should be staying neutral to both teams, should have correspondent for one, correspondent for the other. They just don't. It's just red, and it's disappointing. It's just not respectful for us. Who, you know, we are the better club. Morally, we are the better club, hands down. We will always be the better club. Liverpool, I'd go as far as saying, do very, very little for the community, whereas Everton do tons, absolutely tons. You know, there's no moral dilemma with Everton whatsoever. They have supported everyone, you know, with phone calls from former players, Everton in the community just literally being one of the most, if not the most important charity for charity work and supporting people in Liverpool. So I just find it very critical that the Echo think it's right to do that. What I also wanted to just mention was about Moise Kean. So apparently Roma want Moise Kean. Obviously Moise Kean, young lad. I personally don't get it, because Moise Kean, for me, has shown glimpses of real quality. Don't get me wrong, he's also shown glimpses of not being up to it, as in, you know, getting used to the Premier League and adapting. But I really feel like people are forgetting that Dominic Calvert-Lewin was literally the same last season and the season before that and even the season before that. It's took Dominic Calvert-Lewin absolutely years to get to the level he has got to now, which is one of the top strikers in the Premier League, in my opinion, in terms of his work ethic, his goals with his head, for example, his quality on a ball, his ability to just, not necessarily beat people, but his ability to just be a pain in the arse for defenders. There's still no doubt he doesn't score enough one-on-ones. Richarlison, I would trust with a one-on-one. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I don't. And that is how that is. But he offers so much, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, that you can't not have him in your team. And if you get the front three of Everton right, with somebody sitting behind, pulling the strings, being creative, I can see how a Moise Kean, a Richarlison, and a Dominic Calvert-Lewin could all play as a front three. With a James Rodriguez or a Jack Grealish behind, and having players like Gomez, Gabarmin sitting a little bit deeper, defending that back four. It just shows real quality. There's real quality. And then you go back and yes, we go and get a centre-back. And I know people are on the fence about a goalkeeper, but for me, personally, I'd go and get a new goalkeeper. I know the keepers that I would want to go for, and I've mentioned them both before. I really like Nick Pope. I'd consider Nick Pope in a heartbeat, no problem. I actually really quite like Sam Johnston as well at West Brom. I think he's a good goalkeeper. I also like Donnarumma, who we've been linked with from AC Milan. There's a lot of good goalkeepers out there. There really is some good goalkeepers out there who are probably available. And Pickford will command a decent fee. He will still get a decent fee. He's not a complete shit show. He just has moments of arrogance, of stupidity. And that's something that Everton don't want. We need calm influence throughout the side, because that's what Ancelotti is. Some centre-back would be great. But there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of shit going on. The world, as we know, it's changed a lot for a lot of us. There's a lot of people who work for the NHS, the fire service, a lot of key workers who watch this. And you are doing a phenomenal job. And I'm very, 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 very grateful that during your time off, whether it be the few hours in between your long, heavy, hard shifts, you choose to watch this video. And I appreciate it. But I think I almost feel like we're starting to get to the point where we are starting to need football again. People are not watching football. They're not watching sport. They're not interacting as much with people because they can't. And I get that. We all understand that. But it is now becoming mentally tough. And that's why I'm really keen to just keep putting out content, whether it's just to check in on people, be that sort of, you can come and put me a message on the DMs. You can send a message into my Instagram or my Facebook or Twitter or whatever. That's great. And I noticed that in the last video, you guys, almost 2,000 people watched a midweek video about transfers. And that blew me away. And I'm really, really grateful for that, because, Toffee TV are sort of getting that sort of number, and they've got 40,000 subscribers. I haven't. I've got 4,500 subscribers, yet you're taking the time. Dedicated people watching me. So I'm really, really grateful, guys. Really am. So I just want to say, look, I'm going to leave it there. Really positive about James Rodriguez, or or James Rodriguez. Positive, the reports about Jack Grealish as well. It's a player that I would love. Obviously, Brands has got a bit more time to sort of go through these players to come back. Cenk Tosun, Morgan Schneiderlin, maybe they've got a little bit more time to recover, which means they may be able to go out back to their clubs. Cenk Tosun with his club. I don't know. But it might give us enough time to get them sort of players off the book, if you get what I mean. So, positive and negative at the moment. Life, everything. But I just want to say, look, stay safe. Everyone stay safe. I hope you're all enjoying your Easter as best as you can. And as I said, if there is anything I can do, any messages you want to send them through to me. Guys, I'm going to leave it there because I wanted to try and get this video out for 7:30. And, yeah, stay safe and speak to you soon, guys. Peace.